questions I wanted to ask you is, during your time in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program, you made a promise to your little brother to see him through college. And as I'm sure you know, college tuition is increasing nationwide, and it's making it difficult for millions of Americans to receive a higher education. If you are elected, what do you plan to do to keep college affordable in Pennsylvania and the rest of the nation?
Sure. Well, I think, one, that's a great question, and two, I actually did honor the promise, and my little brother did end up graduating from Washington and Jefferson College in Washington, PA. So we're here at a public university in Pennsylvania, and I am of the opinion, and very similar to, I would say, the Sanders campaign, that we in this country have to hit the reset button on education and consider moving it from 12 up to 16 years. I mean, when you consider last century 12 years was considered radical, like, well, what's going to happen, who's going to work on the farms, and it's so right now I think there should be a path to free or drastically reduced tuition to all public universities.
Do you believe the federal minimum wage is high enough for those who have to depend on it?
No, absolutely not. I'm a strong supporter of the $15 minimum wage standard. I don't know anybody that would acknowledge or believe that you can live off $8 an hour or $7. I know the minimum, but I'm $7.35 an hour. But typically, a lot of the fast food places are starting out at $8 or whatever. But the idea that somebody could work full time, and still be in poverty and not be able to provide for their family is it's just it's un-American. And I think for people, I've never heard anybody making less or around the minimum wage argue that you shouldn't pay the minimum wage. And I agree. And then students working and having to go to school, it's like if you fix the tuition issue at a public university, I think that would make it better. But also this acknowledgement that we in this country need to make sure that if you are doing everything you can, you're playing by the rules, you're working full time, that you aren't living in poverty. And to those that say, well, it's going to raise prices or this or that, I don't believe that that's the case. And I also think that I also know that you're paying for it one way or the other.
So you said that you agreed with Senator Bernie Sanders, who's running for president, on at least the minimum wage issue, and I believe you touched on maybe a few other times during the town hall. He's said that climate change is the greatest national security threat we face as a country. Is that something that you'd say you agree with?
No, I wouldn't say that's the greatest national security threat. I think the greatest national security threat is inequality, because so many things come out of that. And we as a country, we have to address that. Climate change is, of course, really important, and we have to take that on. But I think the direction that this country is in terms of it's a tired metaphor, but the two Americas. I don't think that people in this country realize just how far the divide is and how much different life is in a household in my community than it is. I mean, in Allegheny County, for example, you have Braddock, which is essentially at the bottom of the socioeconomic ladder, and you have Sewickley, which is the most affluent community. They're all within one county, Allegheny, and the income difference is 8 times, which is comparable to a third world country in terms of the income disparity. And I would say that that's our greatest, threat, internally to our country.
Hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.